8 days away from the draft, and Howie Roseman just needs to remember there's one thing in the first round. Talent over need. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, I kick Dingbat here, and like they always say, keep it simple, stupid. And that's what the Eagles need to do in the first round. Keep it simple, stupid. Alright? Keep it simple. Take the best player available in round one. Don't mess with it. Get the player who is the most talented. Alright? Now, I know Howie Roseman language. I know and how to translate certain things he's saying. And one of the things he said, well, there's actually two things he said that lead me to believe he's going to go a certain way. And we're going to get into it in a second. But before we do that, I got to say, just a reminder, and for those that are new to the channel and don't know, I will be streaming every minute, every second of all 3 days of the draft next week. So come hang out with us. It'll be me, Joey Shakes, the Philly Shakedown podcast. And listen, if you want to come and be able to watch and react to it with us, this is a place to be. We don't give it out early. We're not trying to ruin it for you. We're watching along, and you're welcome to watch with us. So come hang out. Should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to see us. Now, there were there were several things Howie Roseman said yesterday, but there were two things I want to talk about in this video. The first thing, I think the Eagles are going to go wide receiver early in this draft. I have got a feeling. Now, when I say early, I'm saying one wide receiver within the first 3 picks. That's what I'm thinking. Now, you're saying, well, why would they do that? What makes you think that? Howie Roseman said something interesting yesterday. They were talking about, players having a chance to learn behind other players. And, such as Cam Jurgens learning behind Kelsey, or Fletcher Cox teaching Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. Well, he made the comment about getting the chance to learn behind Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And he kind of said it jokingly, looking at Nick Sirianni. Now, that makes me think, what the hell is he talking about? Who do you really have that you want to learn behind those two guys? Who? I mean, both the guys that they've picked up, Paris Campbell, Devontae Parker. Nah, those guys are veterans. They're too old. So this leads me to believe the Eagles are looking at getting a wide receiver early. Now, I did a video yesterday, and I claimed and I said I believe that with Devontae Smith's extension, they can look to extend A.J. Brown. It can work. And I still think that is very likely to happen, actually. I actually think it's going to happen. So then what receiver would they be looking to go early? Well, it would have to be a slot receiver. Could they go for a Ladd McConkey, somebody like that? It's something to keep your eye on, okay? It was just the way that he said that, looking at Nick Sirianni, makes me think, what the hell are you doing, Howie? So just keep that in mind. Second one, they started talking about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. and how he was talking about how he is biased about players that are from the Eagles organization, even players that have been there. And he thinks it's important to bring in players, that could have had Eagles connections or local connections. And the way he said that, I just got the feeling Jeremiah Trotter is definitely on the table. The Eagles could look to go and get him early. These are two things to keep an eye on, to keep a watch on, because they could actually happen, okay? Not saying they will, but just me knowing Howie language and how he speaks and me being fluent in it, I think we need to keep our eye on it, okay? Because it could happen. Also, in this draft, I believe that the Eagles, the reason why we've had so many failures in the past in the first round, especially if you look at the Jalen Reagor pick, right? The reason they drafted Jalen Reagor was because they were looking for a speed wide receiver. Well, they were looking for a specific need, and then they drafted for that specific need. In the first round, you are better off drafting the most talented player. Take the best player. If that player is in a position that you don't need, so be it. So be it. Because you know what? In a year or 2 years down the road, it could be that player's ready to start and you're happy and thankful that you took him. Always take the best player in the first round. Always take the talent. In the second round, in the third round, in the fourth round, you can focus a little bit more on needs. Now, if you have two players that are kind of even, of course, you can say, well, which one would be a bigger impact immediately right now? And that's what I think the Eagles have to do. They have to take the best player available at the time. Now, a lot of people think that it's going to end up being that the Eagles take an offensive lineman. They very well could, and I have no problem with it. As long as the Eagles are looking at their draft board and they're saying, all right, Troy Fautanu is the best player we have on the board right now. Is he still available? Yeah. All right, take him. If Troy Fautanu is the fourth best player on their draft board, then don't take him. There's 3 other guys you should be drafting regardless of position. When the Eagles get in trouble, the Eagles, they draft for need in the first round. That's just the truth of the matter of the situation. So they got to draft best player available. Now, saying that, I still think that you need to try to go heavy defense. Me personally, I want to see 2 of your first 4 picks, or say 3 of your first 4 picks be defense. Seriously, 3 of your first 4 picks be defense. You need linebackers. You need a safety. You need a cornerback. You need another edge rusher. You need these things still. So you've got to try to go defense early. And the way that the offense is set up, where really, where's your weakness on offense? Your right guard? Your right guard is your only starting weakness that you have. If you don't draft an offensive lineman, go defense. Your offense is so good that you should be able to take advantage of that in this draft by drafting young players. Take the young players, draft the young players on defense, okay? You have a lot of good offensive players, so get the young defensive players in the draft and take them. Play them and let them learn. By the end of the year, after they've started to mesh and get used to the system, hopefully they'll start playing good football. But you have an offense that can carry the defense. This gives you the opportunity to really try to get younger on the defensive side of the ball. Now, the first round, if you decide a guy like Troy Fautanu is the best guy, take him, okay? It's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles are going to do. I'll tell you what, if let's say the Eagles, they get the player they want in the first round, and then there's somebody really, like at the end of the first round, after they pick, still on the board, I don't know, let's say a Cooper DeJean, and he's still on the board, and you've already picked it, you really want him bad, you really want him, then trade up and get him. Trade those 2 first-round picks, come back in the first round and get him. I'm okay with that, you know. It's interesting. Some people are speculating the Eagles may try to trade way up. I think the Eagles are going to trade up, but I think anywhere from 15 to 20. That's the range I think the Eagles trade up in. Bleacher Report did a thing suggesting the Eagles make a trade with the Chicago Bears. And wanted to get your guys' opinion on this. So check it out. Here's what Bleacher Report has. The Chicago Bears would receive from the Eagles a 2022 overall pick, so their first round pick, their second round pick, 53 overall, their fifth round pick, which is 172 overall, a 2025 third round pick to be determined. And the Eagles would receive the 9th overall pick. So the Eagles would give up basically their first round pick, 1 second round pick, which is their second round pick, not their first second round pick, 5th round pick, and they would go up to 9. Me personally, I don't think you need to make this trade, okay? Unless there was somebody that you definitely wanted and coveted, I don't think you need to make this pick. If Jalen Carter was in this draft and you wanted him at 9 again, then I'd say go do it. I don't feel like you need to do that. I feel like there's enough good players in this draft. The way I kind of feel, and I don't know what they're saying about this draft, but the way I feel about this draft is that there's a lot of good players in this draft. And I think that there'll be good players that get at 22 that you don't necessarily have to go up 2-9 and give up a second-round pick to do it. I almost rather give up 2 second-round picks and then come back in the first round and get an extra first-round pick. I was looking at the latest mock drafts just to try to figure out who could possibly be at 9. And interesting enough, in the latest mock draft I read, Fatanu went number 9. So that could be a situation where the Eagles may try to do something like that if they covet somebody. But to me, I don't think the Eagles need to do a trade like this. I really don't. I think there's going to be good players that are going to be available. I do think you may need to go up to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, somewhere around there to get your guy. But I don't know that you need to go all the way up to 9. But I'll tell you this. The Eagles very well could strike something like that. They've got 2 second-round picks, and that would give you plenty of ammo to get up to about 9 or 10. So it could happen. You also have to watch. The Bears are looking to trade back. The reports are the Jets are looking to trade back. So there may be people, if a Troy Fatanu is a top 10, 12 pick and they want him, they may go up and get him. Maybe Verse, right? Maybe that's who they're looking at. If I'm the Eagles, and let's say, I don't know, I take my first and a 5th round pick, maybe a future pick, and I go up to like 18, 19, somewhere right like that, take somebody I want, and then there's like a Cooper DeJean that's still on the board at 25, 26. Yes, I'll take both my seconds and go right back up and get him. If I know he's going to be an immediate player and going to start, I'm all for it. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I will talk to you later today. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. It's very interesting in the closing week of the draft, which we're just about to get into. It's very interesting to hear the players who are hot to go to the Eagles, because a lot of times the guys maybe you hear at the last moments are the guys a team pursues. Cooper DeJean to the Eagles is a very, very hot pick right now in a lot of mock drafts. And I think a lot of people think that the Eagles really, really like him, and I really actually do. As a safety, as a Swiss Army knife, as a guy that we use in all bunch of different spots. Used the right way, I think he's going to be an all-star. Used the wrong way, I just think he's a good player. But Cooper DeJean to the Eagles, it's very hot right now. We've got to keep an eye on it. Denzel Washington out.